Hey, what's up everyone? It's Alex again. I just want to make another video tonight. My friend's actually coming by with his S2000. He actually needs the fenders rolled. So I told him to stop by and we could roll the fenders tonight. So I figured I'd make a little how-to on fender rolling. So this video will be just that. Will be me rolling the fenders on his S2000. Just giving you some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to make it a little bit easier. And hopefully this video helps you out. If you'd like to do the same to your car. Alright, so the car's here. The way the camera's set up right now, it's not too close, he has enough clearance, but with the wheel pushed out a little bit, once the camera kit's installed, it'll hit the fender. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get started and jack up the car. So the car's jacked up, tires off. I didn't go through the jack up process, I'm sure most of you know how to do that. So the goal for the fender rolling is to roll this lip here, basically so it's flat against the outer fender. As you can see, it's pretty decent size, so if you're running an aggressive wheel and tire combo with aggressive offset, it's going to rub and destroy your tires. So first thing you're going to want to do is take a rag of some sort, and you're going to want to clean the inner lip out, because any junk that's in there, when you roll the fender, could push against the outside and cause dimpling and that sort of thing. Just go ahead, spray it, any type of cleaner, and just wipe it off pretty good in there. Alright, so for this job we're going to use the Eastwood fender roller. Multiple people rent them if you don't want to buy it. Like 40, 50 bucks, you can rent them, use them, return them. There's multiple adjustments. You're going to mount it here onto the hub, and then this is the handle that puts the increased force on it, and you can mess with angle with this knob here, and then this adjustment here. So when you're putting it on, just find, it's drilled for a couple different bolt patterns, so find whatever works for you. And it comes with these little spacers here that you put on against the hub, and then you can thread your lug nuts on. Alright, you don't have to make them too tight, just snug enough so that they doesn't come off. Alright, now you can go ahead and position the roller ball here, or against the lip here rather. Even though this is the position it's going to pretty much end up in once it's flat against the outer fender, you don't really want to start like that, because you'll just put pressure on the fender and it'll just push out. You won't really bend the lip up at all. So you want to take this this bar here, loosen it up, and just give it a little bit of an angle, tighten it back up, and then just align it roughly to the outside or the inner lip of the fender. Again, we need to adjust a little bit here. Alright, so now it's pretty much in position to start rolling. Now before we do this, before we start rolling, you're going to want to heat the fender up a bit, focusing mainly on this edge here, and that's to limit the chance of the paint cracking, just soften it up a little bit. Alright, so this is the heat gun I'm going to be using. It's an old Black & Decker heat gun I've had laying around. You can get these pretty much anywhere. Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, whatever's closest to you. And they're not too expensive. This helps to heat up the fender a little bit more than like a hairdryer or something like that. It provides a little bit more heat. And it helps loosen up the paint a little bit, so it bends easier. There's usually two heat settings. I use the hottest one, but just because it heats everything up quicker. But if you are going to use the hottest one, do not keep it in any one spot, because you will burn the paint. So you pretty much just want to go along the whole edge of the fender, heat it up first, just to get a little bit of heat in the sheet metal, and then as you're working your way to rolling the fender, you're going to want to heat it up in whatever spot you're working. So like I said, let me just start with heating up the whole fender, and we'll go from there. The fender's pretty much ready to be rolled once it's hot to the touch. That means the paint will be nice and soft to fold over. Just put a little bit of pressure now on the roller ball here, which is in contact with the lip, and then you pretty much just start going around the fender until it starts pushing the lip up there. And you just want to watch as you go around. Some spots the ball may not come into contact as well, so you're just going to have to play with the tension just to make sure you get a nice even roll around the whole fender. And as you start rolling the fender, just make sure you keep the fender warm as you go along. You don't want to roll the fender without having the heat on it too much, otherwise you will crack your paint. And when you do roll the fender, you're pretty much going to want to stop maybe about halfway down to the fender. till there's about a quarter left, because even with the most aggressive setups, the tire's really not going to hit this inner part. So I like to go about, just pick one of the spot welds here and then just stop at one of those spots. So now, as you can see, the lip is bending up pretty nice up here. I stopped there, and it's forming a nice little bend here. And also, like I said, as you go along, you can straighten this out more and make it more of a like a perpendicular angle to the ground. Because once you get the bend going, that's when you want to push it flat against the fender. Alright, so this is the finished product now. You can see the lip is nice and rolled in against the fender. I see no cracked paint. It's nice fit and finish there. Now, most cars in the rear, where the bumper mounts to the fender, you'll have this tab that sticks out right there. Sometimes you're gonna have to cut a lot away of this and kind of make a new hole to attach the bumper. But you can usually just take a file this down along with the bumper a little bit, and that usually gives you enough clearance. Alright, so the job on this side's done. We're going to go ahead and do the other side. That's literally identical to this side, so I'm not going to film that. So the job's done, like I said. Formed a nice lip there, and should clear the tires nicely once the camera kit's installed. Alright, so that pretty much concludes the video. I hope it's a little bit helpful for you if you want to tackle this project. It's not really anything to be scared of. It just takes a little bit of time. Like I said, the most important thing, just maintain heat across the fender lip so you don't crack the paint. I pretty much like to just follow the fender roller with the heat gun as I go along. Pretty much just make small adjustments, add pressure little by little, and you'll be fine. I've done it multiple times, and the first time I did it, didn't crack paint or anything. Just have to go real slow. Alright, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe for future videos. See you next time. Thank you.